Now, at some point in time, you will be required to pass traffic across a network that is not designed to pass that type of traffic. For example, if you wanted to pass EIGRP packets across the internet, so let's say that cloud is the internet, how are you going to pass those EIGRP packets from your router in headquarters to your router in the branch office so they can form a neighbor adjacency? Well, it's not going to happen by default because, first of all, in order to form an EIGRP neighborship, you have to be on the same subnet. Well, these two routers would not be on the same subnet if we were trying to form neighbor adjacencies across the internet. Those would be worlds apart, those IP addresses and subnets. Number two, typically we're not going to see our EIGRP traffic flowing across the internet. It's just not going to happen. It's not allowed. So instead, we can implement a tunneling solution such as GRE tunnels, generic routing encapsulation, which is a tunneling concept, tunneling protocol that was produced by Cisco. And the whole point of this protocol was to allow many different types of packets to be transmitted through this tunnel across networks that typically would not support it. So in this example, they're showing us routing protocol traffic, such as EIGRP as an example, or maybe even OSPF. How do we form that EIGRP neighborship over the internet? Well, what we can do is we can tunnel that EIGRP traffic through this point-to-point GRE tunnel. So here's our original IP packet down here. That's the EIGRP packet that we want to send across. And we wrap that up. We put a header on it, a GRE header, and the transport IP header for GRE, which is using protocol 47. And now, we can take that EIGRP packet or that OSPF packet and we can send it across through that tunnel, across the IP network, across the internet, over to the other side. I want you to think about it this way. Let's say you live on the East Coast of the United States. You have a nice beach home, and you have your boat out in the water. It's late in the year, and the northeast U.S. gets relatively cold in the wintertime. Not at all optimal for sailing. So what do? Well, you also have a home on the West Coast, California, where it would be nice to have your boat there in the wintertime. So what do? You have to take that boat and you have to get it to the West Coast. What options do you have? Well, you can sail it through the Northern Passage, which you're probably not going to do. You can go south and go through the Panama Canal. Probably not going to do that either. What you might want to do, though, is you might want to take your boat and you might want to put it on a trailer and transport it across the country on the roads. Now, the boat, by default, will not go on the roads. It needs the trailer. So this is what I want you to think of here. Our routing protocol is our boat. That's what we want to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. So let's pretend this is the West Coast. Let's pretend this is the East Coast. So what are we going to do? We are going to take that boat and we're going to put it on a trailer. The trailer is the GRE tunnel. We're going to hook that trailer up to what? We're going to hook it up to a truck. We're going to take that truck and we're going to drive it across the country on the roads. The roads are the transport protocol. That's all we're doing. Now, we said it's late in the year. Snow might start to fall as we're traveling through the northern Midwest of the U.S. We might get some awful weather. Is the boat protected? No. There might be salt. There might be sand on the road. That's going to sandblast our boat. Could potentially damage it. So, can we protect the boat? Yes, we can. The boat's not protected by default, just like the traffic in our GRE tunnel. It's not protected, but what can we do? We can implement a protocol in order to protect the traffic flowing through the GRE tunnel. For example, IPsec, IP security. Well, with our boat, what can we do? We can wrap it up. We can wrap it up. So that way there, if it does get hit with salt or sand, the boat doesn't get damaged. Same thing here. We wrap up this entire GRE packet in IPsec. And now it's protected as it's being transmitted across that untrusted network.